Have you ever noticed how you can have a good job, a roof over your head, people who rely on you, and still you feel like something's missing? You tell yourself you should be happy. You've done what you were supposed to do, but deep down there's this quiet pull, the sense there's something more, something that you've lost touch with. Everyone talks about finding their purpose, but no one tells you this important part. And that is what it actually feels like when you get close to it. And because no one does, we all get it wrong. We mistake that first feeling for danger. We hear the voice that's trying to wake us up and we start running from it. That's because it's not calm, it's not peaceful, it's frightening. Your chest tightens. You've spent years chasing something real. Meaning, direction, purpose, and when it finally starts to show up, your whole body reacts like it's under threat. That's the part no one warns you about. The moment you get near the truth, you don't feel enlightened, you feel exposed. This story's about that moment when fear and purpose arrive together and you have to decide which voice to trust. Because that's where the real work starts. Learning to stand still long enough to let fear become the doorway and not the wall. That moment when fear turns up, that's the edge I'm talking about. It's the edge of the box I built for myself, the one I stay inside just to feel safe. For years I told myself I was just keeping things steady, but really I was hanging on. Trying not to let anything slip, sticking with what I knew, because what I knew had kept me safe before. So I kept choosing it, even when deep down I knew it had stopped fitting me ages ago. It makes sense. Once you build a life around safety, it's hard to imagine stepping outside it. And staying in the safety of the box for me meant being the one who sorts everything out, being the steady one, the one people can lean on. I've played that role, worn those masks for years, so long the masks now feel like my skin. But that inner voice has started to show me what they are. Those masks, they're designed to make me look strong. And in some ways, they've done that. They've protected me, and I'm grateful for that. But I can see now they've also kept me small. And that's usually when the voice shows up, the quiet one, the one that doesn't shout or judge, it just waits. That voice has always been there, watching me as I hold it all together, waiting for the moment I'm ready to listen. It doesn't rush me, it lets me drift back into the noise until I've had enough of pretending. You know the voice, you've heard it, haven't you? Maybe in the early hours, lying awake, when something deep inside starts to move. It's not words, it's more like a knowing, like a bit of you that's been asleep is trying to wake up. That's your true self, knocking from the inside, saying, I'm still here. And when that happens, fear turns up alongside it, not as a punishment, as a signal. A nudge that says, there's more of you than this. A smart guy called Kierkegaard, he named it. He said, anxiety is the price of freedom. And I get that. It's that sudden drop inside you when you realise that life you built doesn't fit anymore. Jung, who was a very smart psychologist, talked about masks and how they're useful until, that is, we start believing they're actually who we are. And that's at the heart of it, isn't it? That part of you that defends the mask, that's the bit that sees truth as a threat. That's what fear protects, the mask. When it starts to slip, your body starts to panic because the story that kept you safe feels like it's dying. And dying is the thing we fear the most. And when that part of you, the role you've lived in, feels like dying, well, it's hard. But it's not death. It's the process. And to find out who you really are, you have to let go of the mask and face the fear of not being seen. That's the way through. That's where freedom starts. After that realization, most people don't charge off into freedom. We hang around the middle ground, and that's what I did. I kept one foot in truth and the other in the old script, still doing what was expected of me, still holding it together, still trying to look like I had it sorted. On paper it looked solid, but inside it wore me down. I told myself I was being responsible, but really I was scared. Scared that if I stopped pushing, it would all fall apart. Scared that if I dropped the act, people would see how lost I felt. So I stayed in that middle bit, not free, not trapped, just stuck. The place where you say, you're fine, but you wake up more tired than yesterday. Then small cracks started to appear, little slips of honesty. I'd say something I hadn't planned to say, or make a choice that actually didn't fit the old story. And in those moments I thought I'd messed up, but now I know it was the deeper part of me finding a way through, writing new lines when I wasn't looking, quietly steering me back to what was real. When I finally stopped pretending, things started to shift quietly. Not a breakdown, not chaos, just a slow sorting. People drifted. Some things that I thought mattered stopped holding together. And this time, I didn't chase. I let them go. What stayed because I could feel me again, not the mask, the signal underneath. Some people, they sensed it. There's no speeches, just a cleaner connection. Those who couldn't feel it, they faded. Not anger, just distance. You then begin to notice who's still trapped in their mask, like you were. It's not judgment, it's recognition. You keep living honestly and let what's true connect to you. That's how purpose shows itself, in what remains when the false stuff drops away. I used to think fear was a stop sign. Now I see it as a signal. It shows up when I start drifting back into the mask. That tight chest, that voice in my head that says, play it safe, don't push it. That's when I know I'm on the edge again. Not in danger, just at the boundary between the old story and the real one. Every time I hold still there and breathe through it, the box I used to live in just gets that little bit bigger. That's courage. Not fighting the fear, not running from it, just staying long enough to hear what it's telling you. Do that and you start to see fear for what it is. Not an enemy, not a wall, just your body saying, you're growing. When the fear settles, what's left isn't empty, it's still. And in that stillness, things start to make sense. You see what's real and what's just noise. The chasing, the fixing, the proving, that was fear keeping you busy. When the noise quietens down, you can see what actually matters. And from there, the movement starts again. But this time it's not forced, just clear. You don't push it or plan it to death. You just know what needs doing and it feels steady. In Vedanta, which is a kind of knowledge goal philosophy, they say the self was never in danger. I used to think that was just a philosophy. Now I understand it, because when fear hits, your body starts acting like something's after you. Your heart's going, your chest tight, your mind's racing. But underneath all that, there's a steadier part, the part that sees what's happening, even while you're panicking. That's what Vedanta points to, the watcher underneath. It doesn't fight or run, it just sees. Notice that, even for a second, and fear starts to lose its grip. You realise the danger wasn't out there, it was all that noise in your mind. Stillness isn't something to chase, it's what's left when the noise stops. And in that quiet, you remember you were safe the whole time. So if you find yourself standing at that edge, heart going, mind spinning, not sure what comes next, first thing, don't call it fear. Rename it recognition. It's the deeper part of you waking up. You don't need to rush. You don't need to fix anything. You just stay a little bit longer. Can you do that song? I don't know. I can't sing to save my life. So if you find yourself standing at that edge, heart going, mind spinning, not sure what comes next, do not call it fear. Rename it recognition. It's the deeper part of you waking up. You don't need to rush. You don't need to fix anything. Just stay where you are for a bit. Breathe, let it settle. It's the deeper part of you waking up. You don't need to rush. You don't need to fix anything. Just stay where you are for a bit. Breathe. Let it settle. Because when your next step comes, and it comes from that quiet place inside, it won't feel like a leap. It'll just feel steady, like you have come home.